Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. And it's an unfortunate day today, a very unpleasant shipping incident in the North Sea, and so thoughts with anybody affected by that. Today, of course, is Commonwealth Day. It's the big service in London where the King will be in attendance and Prince William and the Princess of Wales. Big day, a lot of controversy around the King at the moment. So I thought we'd put the new Palladini Tarot out on the tarot table and we'd have a look at King Charles. Don't want to get too political, but I just want to run through some of the things that have been going on that have been quite controversial. And of course, the first thing, there have been calls for the King to dissolve Parliament in the UK with all the scandals around certain government ministers and their fraudulent CVs and things like that. There's been a lot of people hoping that the King would intervene. He hasn't. Then he found himself in the middle of the spat between Donald Trump and Zelensky, and that has been quite controversial for the King. And then Canadians are upset with King Charles because of the 51st state thing, and he hasn't exactly come out and defended Canada. And then, of course, the most recent saga, and that is seemingly endorsing Ramadan and not mentioning Lent. He is, of course, the defender of the faith as most important part, probably, of his role as king. So that's the situation that we're dealing with. I'm going to do a Celtic cross, and I've decided to do it from King Charles's point of view. I want to know who he is and where do his loyalties really lie. Finding himself, as I say, in these quite difficult situations. Some people think that he's handling them very well and that his role is to be kind of an intermediary and a peacemaker. Some people very upset. I'm seeing comments around people extremely upset, hurt, betrayed, devastated, really feeling that he's let the side down very badly. So I'm neutral in this one. I was actually going to do this reading over on my other channel, but Commonwealth Day snuck up on me, so I thought let's do it here. This is a royal reading channel, and this is about royalty and the role of royalty and where they're heading. Basically, we're going to look at Prince William next today. He's also there at the ceremony today. Well, he should be. And so the King, Celtic cross, what's going on? It's tarot, and of course it's for fun and entertainment purposes. It is all speculation or my opinion, just reading energy, and disclaimer in the box below. Harvest card that is showing itself, interestingly. So let's get to it. Celtic cross, the King and the Commonwealth, and we're going to throw in the defender of the faith thing too, and we're going to ask what's going on. What's really going on? What's his goal, and how he's going to respond to the situations that he's finding himself in, what pressure he's under, how he sees his role, all that kind of stuff. Normal Celtic cross, as normal as they get here on this channel. It's a bit wonky. Oh dear, there we get the betrayal. The Three of Swords card has shown up. This is literally people feeling extremely disappointed, heartbroken by the direction the monarchy has gone in since the death of the late Queen Elizabeth and the reign of King Charles. Just going to hang on tight and try and move this a bit so it doesn't look quite so wonky. Bit better. And that's the feeling. It's in reverse, either extra disappointed, heartbroken, betrayed, or feeling that maybe there's a little bit of improvement coming. I'm inclined to go with the former interpretation. That's the energy that's coming through of just terrible hurt, shock, disappointment, betrayal. I think generally, as far as particularly the British public goes right now, the situation in Britain is extremely difficult. And I know this, I have family there. They're actually here with us right now. And don't have good things to say about life over there. We've got our own troubles here. Most countries right now have very serious troubles, but it's emotional and it's feeling hurt, not heard, overlooked, let down in favor of others. That's what's coming through. The Three of Swords is always another energy in the mix that disrupts a relationship. And so that's me as an energy reader and what I have to say about our underlying energy. So let's look at the King situation. He's in right now, the heart of this reading, what's going on. We've got the Three of Rods, and it's in reverse, and this is this sort of withering energy. It's interesting that there is a crescent moon there in the night sky. The Three of Rods upright would be the expansionist energy of the Commonwealth, the days of empire, sending the ships out. Whatever you feel about that, that's historical record, it's a fact. The Three of Rods in reverse is the sun setting on all of that. The withdrawing, retreating can also mean that some of the consequences of that previous energy are coming home to roost. Chickens coming home to roost, really. And I'm not judging and I'm not expressing any opinion on all of that. I'm simply articulating the energy of the card. And so that is the situation that is going on. And it's maybe his unfortunate legacy or karma or whatever it is, to find himself as the one who has to navigate this energy, this very difficult energy. We got two threes in reverse on this tarot table. It's an awkward energy. Three's a crowd. And so the particular challenge facing the King right now, and we got the King of Cups. There he is. That's him. Water sign, Scorpio, obviously. And it's to be popular, to be perceived as in touch with his people, the people he's supposed to represent. And who is that right now? That's maybe his difficulty. Who is who are his people? Really, but it is about being perceived as loyal, faithful, spiritual, compassionate, wise, merciful, all of those things that cups represent. And his challenge is to lead whilst displaying loyalty, grace, compassion, kindness, emotional sort of maturity and things like that. And when people are very upset, very afraid, very threatened, they might not necessarily look at that kind of leadership and feel that that's the right kind of leadership. They might want something more stirring and dramatic and fiery and confrontational. That's the energy that's coming through for me. So let's get down to what's really going on. Where do his loyalties really lie? Down, 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 down in the most hidden places. Where do they really lie? We've got the Ace of Wands in reverse. This is not somebody who is a leader. He's not a natural leader. He's more of a follower. If that card was upright, it would be he's a visionary. He's somebody who has grabbed the opportunity to lead and he's pressing forward. It's not coming through as any particular organization. It's not representing the people, the British people, as multicultural as Britain now is. It's not coming across as secret organizations, WEF, that kind of a thing. What it's showing me is that when I'm asking where his loyalties really lie, what's really going on, I'm getting somebody who doesn't have his hand on the levers of power. Other people might have their hands on the levers of power. He doesn't. He doesn't know how to be that person. He doesn't want to be that person. And this is why people are sensing it. They're sensing a sort of a void in leadership, where they want leadership. They want a strong person to step up and say, follow me, trust me, I know what I'm doing, I stand for something. This is not somebody who stands for anything. Ace of Wands in reverse. That's a harsh statement. I don't dislike King Charles. I'm not a Charles hater at all. I get him at some level, I think, energetically. So I'm just simply expressing what's coming through. I need you to understand that I'm not doing a hate-filled reading, criticizing him. I know people are so polarized right now in the world that it's actually very difficult to do these kinds of readings at this point. So let's get on to what his focus is. What's his goal? What's he trying to achieve? And he's got the Nine of Swords. And again, it's interesting, there's the crescent moon. Again, it's this lack of leadership. Stressed, he's very worried about this. He doesn't know how to react to this. Possibly somebody who's picked wrong kind of advisors in the past, maybe still got wrong advice around him now. He's got his own worries, I would say. And I would say that a lot of that Nine of Swords energy is about the fact that he really has very heavy burdens that he's carrying, that he is possibly trying to conceal. The moon is concealment. It doesn't necessarily have to mean a Middle Eastern energy, that particular religious kind of dynamic. It can be his own secrets and his own worries, his health situation that's really on his mind. Then, in my opinion, he should step down. It's happening more and more in Europe. It's becoming more and more an acceptable thing for modern day monarchies to do. But it's stress, it's worry, it's not really knowing how to handle the complexity of the world right now. We're all in that energy, really. Unless you're a raging narcissist and you think you know best and absolutely you know you have the answers, most of us are really quite confused about how the world is at the moment, who to trust, what to believe, what to think, where to put our energies. It's difficult energy to be in for all of us. Let's go to the past. Whatever universe wants to tell about him, the past, his past influences, his past ideas, past behavior. We've got the Lovers in reverse. Of course, eternally going to be the Diana story, which derailed him. The breakup of that relationship, the marriage that probably should never have been, mistake, chose the wrong partner. It's a choice card, the Lovers. Gemini energy as well. Of course, there allegedly was influence from his Gemini father to just do it, find someone, marry someone. But it's showing up as the thing that set his life on maybe a wrong course, and that's been very difficult for him to come back from. He's never going to be that popular, always because of Princess Diana. And of course, she's still, I think, the most popular royal in the United States. There was a thing in the Daily Mail about royals in the US and who's most popular, and I think she was still up there. She was the top. So he's never going to have that status, that influence, that power that his late mother had, or his father. He's always going to be perceived as someone who broke a woman's heart, Three of Swords, betrayed her, did the dirty, all of that. He's never going to shake that off. So that's amazing that that has come through so vividly in this reading. I was not expecting that to show up. Next, soon, immediate future, how is it going to go with him, his leadership, his focus? We got the Four of Rods, that's better. celebration. That could literally be the Commonwealth ceremony today. It might go very well. It might help to unite people and pull back focus and say, okay, this is what we stand for, this is what we represent, this is what we do well. I watched a bit of it before I started this reading. There was no one there. There was a small crowd of protesters outside, somebody having a very loud say into a megaphone. But that's good energy. That's more stable energy, the Four of Rods. There might be a tour somewhere, something. It could even be the Trump visit to Balmoral, that sort of thing, where he does the king thing. And there's the gold plate, and there's the carriage, and there's the castle, or the palace, or the whatever, and all the fancy dress, and everybody looks good, and everybody feels better, because that's the ritual, the ceremony, the energy that people, it makes people feel comfortable. They know, and it makes them feel that the firm is firm. So it looks like he's going to shore up the situation in the coming weeks, months. How does he view his role down here? How does he actually view his role with the Commonwealth, with the Defender of the Faith? And we get the Six of Pentacles. This is the problem. I use the word problem in air quotes. For some people, maybe a lot of people, he views it as it's egalitarian. And people are saying, well, he's the defender of our faith. He should be the defender of our faith and not other faiths. He views himself as a defender of faiths, which is the Six of Pentacles, a sharing energy. You can see the scales are balanced. There's no one put ahead of anyone else. And that's very enlightened and very spiritual. And maybe that's the direction we'll all go in one day, but it's not where many people are now. And so it doesn't go down very well. That's the problem. He's maybe someone who's a little bit ahead of his time with all the eco stuff that he was into decades before anyone else was worried about the things that he was worried about, talking to plants, as he famously did, to great mockery way back when. Six of Pentacles. He sees his role as to be fair and treat everyone equally. Nothing wrong with that, unless the world is a little bit upside down and people are feeling threatened and their identity is threatened and all of that. I get that completely. What pressure is he under from outside? And we've got the Two of Swords. This is the torn between two. The Two of Swords. He's caught between. Does he serve his people as traditionally defined? Does he serve the greater world? What does he do? Crossroads always. He's got big decisions to make. Could be decisions to do with things that are health related, that are weighing, that are pressing on him, that he's at some kind of crossroads. And does he step down? Does he hand over the levers of power to someone who's more motivated, more energetic? But he's got his own problems, of course, Prince William, getting out of those problems, but he's been through a rough time as well. But the Two of Swords, it's conflicted. He's conflicted. He's not somebody, it's coming through very clearly, he's not somebody who has a firm opinion about things. And sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes that's a very bad thing. Hopes and fears. We're still in his energy. And justice. He wants what's best for the world. He wants the world to be a fair place, an equal place. Everybody gets an equal opportunity to do whatever. I think he wants to be seen as somebody who was fair and balanced and I'm getting the word moral, ethical. Justice is, it has to do with things like that. And that's what he would hope for himself, for his legacy, for the world, for everybody in the world. I think he sincerely believes that. And that's the hopes. How about the actual outcome? His role in the world, his legacy, How's that going to go, given what is going on now and all this criticism and all this? We got the Ace of Cups in reverse. It's a disappointing energy, the Ace of Cups in reverse. He's not going to be popular. People aren't going to look at him and think, well, we loved him, we followed him, we were passionate about him. They're going to look and feel disappointed, let down. I'm saying this because of this Three of Swords energy there. The legacy is going to be to do with Diana as well. It's very much in this Ace of Cups. It was the great romance, it was the fairy tale wedding, it was the great love story of our time, and then it turned into this terrible thing. And it's going to be what sticks. So he's not going to be loved. He's going to be perceived as somebody who was disloyal, cold, unloving. Harry has added to that energy, and Meghan with the things that they have said about him and his coldness as a father and all of that stuff. So unfortunately for him, he really can't change this narrative. He can't become that King of Cups. It's not possible for him to get there. But it looks as if, at least in the near term, things are going to go a little bit better in terms of the royal family and its status and what it represents and how it's viewed. People will feel a little bit better, but ultimately, no. A sad legacy. I think it's a very sad legacy that this story over here has led to all of this. This is what the energy is telling me anyway. And so that's the reading. And thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.